Okay, time for a new video. Welcome back to my channel, or hello if you're new. This is a Eurovision 2027 related video here on my channel, and today it is the return of the What We Know So Far series to my channel, where I go through pretty much everything we as Eurovision fans know so far about the upcoming edition of the Eurovision Song Contest, which, as we now know, will take place next May in Burgas, Bulgaria. That announcement was made several hours ago by the Bulgarian national broadcaster and the EBU, today being August the 13th, 2026. As always, you're welcome to let me know your thoughts on anything I discuss in today's video by leaving a comment down below, and as always there are links in the description to my other social media pages. Check them out if you so wish. First things first, I am aware that this is my first Eurovision related video for some time. Of course, it is the off-season. Eurovision related YouTube content, certainly on my channel, never fares that well during the summer months, which is completely fair enough, but what I can tell you is that moving forwards, it is absolutely my intention to film more ESC related content. If you would like me to talk a little bit about Eurovision Asia, which is going to take place later in the year in Thailand, I believe, we do already have the song from Bhutan, and we'll be getting more entries from the likes of Bangladesh and Vietnam and Malaysia and the Philippines soon, and so on. If you'd like me to talk about those tracks at some point, then please do let me know by leaving a comment in the comment section down below or contacting me via my other social media pages. I've already heard the Bhutan track. It's okay, and I have already heard snippets of the tracks in contention for the Philippines as well. Anyway, that's that. Junior Eurovision is of course coming up before you know it as well, and I don't know how many videos I filmed about it last year, but this year it is my intention to film just 2 videos about it. One will be a preview and prediction video all in one, and then potentially a reaction to the results as they come in. Junior Eurovision content never fares well on my channel. I just don't think too many people are interested in it, and let's be honest, France are probably going to win again. So those videos will come as and when, but we are several months away from that even being worth discussing about, I suppose. Also, as you can see, I have my fan on. It has been a scorcher of a summer here in England where I am, and I know it's been exceptionally hot across Europe and perhaps in other parts of the world as well, to be fair. It really has been very uncomfortable. I never deal well with the heat whatsoever. I have been a little bit sick with it, to be honest with you. Anyway, that obviously can reduce your motivation to do a lot of things, and so I've had videos planned, and I think to myself I'm going to sit down and record them today, but no, it's so hot. Right now, it's 35 degrees Celsius outside. I am sweating like you wouldn't believe. But I wanted to film this video because, of course, today we had that big announcement of it being Burgas 2027. Are you surprised? Because I certainly was when I turned on my computer earlier today and saw in my emails from Eurovision, Burgas 2027. I thought, are you serious? Sofia was right there. The capital city had a big venue ready to go. Why was that city not chosen? Well, I've read a few things online, not a great deal, and how truthful this information is, I really don't know. But apparently, what wasn't working in Sofia's favour was traffic concerns, and I think the venue might have already been booked for something else. I really don't know, but apparently the parking and traffic-related issues in Burgas are not so much of a problem. And also, it's an opportunity to show off an area of Bulgaria that maybe not as many people are familiar with. Sofia is better known. Look, I really don't have a clue, and maybe we'll never find out exactly what the Burgas bid had as an advantage over the Sofia bid. All we know is that it will be in Burgas next May, on the 11th, 13th and 15th of May specifically, at the Arena Burgas, which looks a bit like a spaceship from the outside with 2 black eyes at the front. It opened in 2023. It can stage up to 15,000 people, host up to 15,000 people for concerts. That will be slightly less, of course, once the stage is constructed and what have you. So let's say about 12,500 potentially, which is still pretty good. It's home to BC Chernomorets, who are a basketball team. It cost just over 32 million euros to construct, and it has hosted kickboxing and volleyball events in the past. Of course, what this does mean is that Eurovision will be a more seaside type event next May, which will appeal to a lot of people travelling to that area for the competition. I know it's a big tourist destination, and perhaps the fact that it's on the beach worked in Burgas's favour. Maybe. However, what I've read over the past few weeks is that transport links from parts of Europe to Sofia are better than they are to Burgas. So the fact that this city has been chosen instead is mildly surprising, to say the least. There's also been a lot of talk online about Netta, the Israeli winner almost a decade ago, how she does this thing every year where she predicts the host city, and she got it right this time. Honestly, why are we even still talking about Netta predicting the host city? That's old news. It's never been that interesting. Anyway, she was right. Sofia hosted Junior Eurovision in 2015, but it will be Burgas for the adult competition next May. In terms of the city itself, it's the fourth biggest in Bulgaria. It was between this and Sofia, and there were other cities in contention as well, but they dropped out pretty quickly. They didn't have anywhere suitable. Burgas is surrounded by lakes. It's located at the westernmost point of the Black Sea. It's home to the largest oil refinery in southeastern Europe. Ooh, what a tourist trap that is, I bet. It's also home to the second largest port in Bulgaria, the second most important airport in the country. It's also the home of the Bulgarian fishing and fish processing industry. So how about that? There it is. There's a map in front of me here. It's right on the coast. Fairly nice weather for May next year. It's twinned with Rotterdam, a former Eurovision host city. It's home to 2 universities, loads of churches, several museums, and also in May, apparently, it hosts a sailing week. So there you are. And lots of notable Bulgarians are from there. Anyway, as of right now, 19 nations have said that they have every intention of taking part in next year's competition. They are as follows. Albania. FIC will be back later in the year, somewhere around the Christmas period. I had a bit of a brainwave recently. Let me know your thoughts on this. Former Albanian representative Eugen Bush-Pepper, 2018. Mal, what a great song that was. Brilliant male vocalist, one of the best we've had this century so far, if you ask me. How about him with Arilena Ara, who would have represented Albania in 2020 had the contest not been cancelled because of the pandemic. The two of them teaming up for maybe a really powerful rock-style entry. I'm calling it into existence. That could be a ripper of a tune. I'd love to see something like that. Austria will be back, of course, this year's host nation. They did not fare well on home soil several months ago. Whether they have a national final or not remains to be seen. Bulgaria, host nation, will be there. We'll leave Canada for the moment. Denmark will be back February the 13th for DMGP. It's going to take place somewhere new again. Whereabouts is it going to take place? You'll have to bear with me here. It's not really that crucial. Is it Frederikshavn? Or was that where it was this year? It's anybody's guess. But anyway, DMGP will be back, as will UMK. That's going to be in Finland again on February the 20th next year. Germany, national selection next February. Greece, they'll be back. Israel will be back, which I know is very controversial for a lot of people. The rules of Eurovision have changed slightly. This is a very recent announcement, which I'm sure you may have seen. Any country at war or in a tense geopolitical situation will be ineligible to host Eurovision if they win. So this essentially means that if Israel win, they're not hosting, which we sort of guessed anyway. It also means that if Ukraine win again anytime soon, they will not be hosting. And there is no requirement for the winning nation, let's say Ukraine, to co-present with another broadcaster. That's my understanding of it anyway. So what we had in 2023, the BBC and the Ukrainian broadcaster teaming up together, that's not necessarily something that needs to happen if Ukraine were to win again. I don't really know. Also, they've changed the age. You have to be 18 on the day of when you perform, rather than 16 on the day you perform. So that would have eliminated artists like Blanche and I don't know whether it would have eliminated Christian Kostov. Monroe for France. She wouldn't have been able to sing for France this year, for example, had that rule been in place for this year's competition. And apparently they may go back to public-only semi-finals, which is a big no-no in my book, but that might be happening. Anyway, Italy, Sanremo is back. 19th of February, there is going to be a specific show within the festival from now on in which it's all about Eurovision. Whoever wins that night is the Eurovision representative, apparently, which may be for people who are not so fussed about Sanremo entirely, perhaps. It means that the final night maybe isn't of massive interest to those individuals. I will still pay attention to all of it, but now we do have a specific Eurovision element to Sanremo moving forward. So it's not a national final, but there is a sort of national final element to it now, very much so. Anyway, Latvia, February the 6th, they're going to have it in an arena. It's more of a big deal next year. That's on my birthday, the national final. Lithuania are going to be back. Luxembourg, January the 13th for that one. North Macedonia are returning for the first time in several years. Welcome back. Norway, MGP, that will be at some point next spring. Romania will return. San Marino, March the 6th, one of the last national finals there. Switzerland are back. And the UK will be back to embarrass themselves again, I'm sure, next year too. Now, Canada, the situation with them, CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, they have a long-standing relationship with the EBU. It's been an associate member since 1950. Blah, blah, blah. Lots of Canadians have been at Eurovision. Cherise Laurence, yes, she did very well. Celine Dion, of course, won. Natasha Saint-Pierre did well for France in 2001. And Lazara for France in 2023. There has been talk in the past about Canada maybe coming in. Of course, Australia, SBS, associate member of the EBU, came along in 2015 for the Eurovision anniversary we had in Vienna that year, and then they've just been taking part ever since. And now we have Canada, who look like they might be long-term participants as well. This does open the door too for other associate members of the EBU to potentially take part in Eurovision moving forwards. Maybe we will have the likes of New Zealand, the USA. Potentially, you just never know. Anyway, Canada are going to be involved in Burgas next May. Mark Carney, the Prime Minister, who was formerly the head of the Bank of England, was he not? Governor of the Bank of England. Anyway, yeah, he was talking about it himself. And there we go. Who could represent Canada next year? I think they're going to have a national final. Let me know your thoughts on this. Because Australia's participation is still a bit irritating to some Eurovision fans. They're not in Europe, blah, blah, blah. So Canada taking part as well does seem a little bit odd, but it is what it is. It's going to happen. Why have I pressed that? Canadian musicians. Justin Bieber, that's a pass for me. But you never know. It could be somebody really massive. Alanis Morissette, she would be great. Very unique voice. Drake, that's a hard pass for me. The Weeknd, not for me. Rush, the Tragically Hip. Shawn Mendes. Bryan Adams. What about, let me just type it in here. Cœur de Pirate. Yes. Her real name is Béatrice Martin, born in September 1989. She's from Quebec, the state of Quebec. Worth looking her up. Cœur de Pirate, which means pirate's heart. She's released loads of albums and she's been very successful. She could be a very interesting choice. Who else have we got? Avril Lavigne, Michael Bublé, Shania Twain, Nelly Furtado. That could be an interesting one. Chad Kroeger, bit of Nickelback at Eurovision. Wouldn't say no. Carly Rae Jepsen. That's a possibility. Alessia Cara. Oh, that would be a cracker. That would be a cracker. Oh, yeah. That would be a cracker. Alessia Cara. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here. Are Walk Off the Earth still making music? Apparently so. Walk Off the Earth from Ontario. That's a possibility. Anyway, we'll find out more later in the year, will we not? Now, what else does it say here? Thanks Melodi Grand Prix. Where is it going to be? It's going to be in Kolding. There you are, at the Sydbank Arena. next February. There you go. Yes, Italy. Yeah. The fourth night of Sanremo will be when I assume a jury and the public will pick Italy's representative for Eurovision next year. North Macedonia, I don't know if they're having a national final. Armenia, Patrick Fiori, who represented France in 1993, said last October it will be him in 2027 for Armenia. Whether that happens or not remains to be seen. Malena, former junior Eurovision winner, is right there. Is it going to be her time? Cyprus, likely to be back. Hungary, for the first time in years, they've got a whole new sort of government doing their thing. The Prime Minister has been asked about it. You never know. Maybe Hungary won't be thinking that Eurovision is a bit too gay for them anymore. We'll see. We will welcome them back. Montenegro, hopefully they're back. Poland, they'll be back, I'm sure. Serbia, yes. Ukraine, yes. Australia, yes. As for the countries that withdrew as a sort of protest earlier this year, a boycott, Belgium, obviously it switches between the broadcasters there. Don't know if Belgium will take part. I have to say it's not looking too likely. Iceland, I think, will be back myself. And I will be happy about that because I love Iceland's music scene. But if they sit it out, fair enough, once again. Ireland, I've heard nothing. Netherlands, really don't know what's happening with them. Obviously, if you're from any of these countries, do let me know. You will probably know more than me. Slovenia, I did see something the other day suggesting they might come back. And Spain, Benidorm Fest will return, but whether that will have any impact on Eurovision for Spain or not next year remains to be seen. Otherwise, I don't think there's much else to say. One of the other rules that was introduced very recently does regard vocals and the impact of backing vocals and sort of overshadowing the lead vocals. You can read all about this online in far more detail than I'm waffling onto you right now, but that was another thing that will be implemented moving forwards. Anyway, I think that's really all there is to say. Being from the UK, there's no rumours whatsoever about who could represent the UK next year, but one thing is for sure, fists will be flying if the BBC do not get a grip on our form at Eurovision. So help me. I mean, we have just been stinking the place out again ever since Sam Ryder, to be honest with you. He's doing great things. He's doing great things, Sam Ryder. He's in Jesus Christ Superstar in the West End in London at the moment. My friend went to see him, said he was excellent. So yeah, feel free to let me know your thoughts on anything. Canada's participation, countries returning after boycotting this year's event, Eurovision Asia, let me know if you want videos about that. Anything at all. And I'll be back with more Eurovision related content in the near future. Hopefully I've not forgotten to mention anything. If the fan has been making too much noise for you, apologies. It won't always be there and switched on, but it is roasting in this room and outside. My goodness me. Get yourselves a nice cold drink, and I'll see you again soon for more Eurovision related content. Apologies for waffling, but until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, cool down, and bye for now.